we just got done watching season 2, act 1 of Arcane, and holy shit, this was the best way that we could have started this second season. I didn't know what we were going to be in for today, but I will say that I am pleasantly surprised. I actually think that pleasantly surprised is an understatement as to all of the things that have just occurred in this first act. The stage, I didn't know what the stage was going to be looking like, or if they were going to set the stage, or if we were going to be jumping into the future and skipping all the meaty parts basically of what happened on the aftermath of the explosion. But I was happy to find out that we quickly jumped immediately into that, and we kind of deal with the aftermath of every single one of those things. And what comes with that is basically a whole bunch of just setting up the table for this chess match that is going on. And there's a chess match going on that we weren't even aware of for a long time that has now just come to fruition. And damn, being able to see all of these different pieces being set and moved, and we have no idea why these things are happening, and for it all just to come wrapping back around together. It's just a really good way of doing these circle storytellings, especially in ways where a lot of these secrets that were revealed, we didn't even know they were secrets necessarily. So it did feel a little whiplashy to where it was like, yo, what's going on? But then when you get this final episode of this first act, it's like, oh my god, like this is what's going on. Like I had no idea how, like, I didn't know what the mom was up to. I can't think of what her name is off the top of my head right now, but the mom, and like mama was tripping, okay? I didn't know that mom was and I love the way that we get to see that she's basically played everyone, including her daughter Mel, right? Like Mel even gets kidnapped in that last episode because she just has no idea what her mother Ambessa is getting into. And Ambessa is just such a good character. I love the Madar. I love her. What is it? What is her name? Madarda, I think is her name. And I love the entirety of their clan, which I think it's called like the Nexus or something like that, or the Nexalians, I can't remember again, but they're badass, and I love the way she literally finessed the entire thing that happened to the fact, right? She didn't like put into plan about the Jinx stuff or anything like that. She just kind of capitalized on the downfall, which is still bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like she is so strategic. That is just so. She's playing another level. She's been playing at another level. I just wasn't prepared for it. I love the forming of this A team type of thing going together, and seeing the way that they the go through the underground, and seeing the way that Vi does kind of turn her back in a way on some of her morals that she has usually, and then seeing the way that Jinx is kind of turning into this, I don't want to say a better care, like it's just crazy, yo. The terrorist messiah. That's all I can say with Jinx is they are continuously giving us that terrorist messiah vibe, and I'm happy that it didn't all happen in this first act because I kind of thought it did. But now I know that next week for next Friday, we are really going to be able to establish so much more of a cohesive third a cohesive line of, yo, where we got to and where we are now. I love the whole hex stuff that's going on, and how they kind of make. I don't know if this was already said, but the arcane is now. I think they're kind of doing more to make the arcane a dimension, more than just like the arcane is something that they utilize. But I don't know. I don't know about that. I think that's getting into a little bit more of the theory territory. But before I get into that theory territory, the lore that was expanded upon in this was magnificent. Seeing the way that Professor Echo and Professor, what's his name? He- Her Hermedinger, Heimdinger, something like that. Seeing how Professor H, you know what I mean? Seeing the way that they sneak back in, and then and then to see the way that they work with yo, there's so many names. Jace, I believe his name is Jace. Like I just love the way that they all just work together and start solving this puzzle and utilizing their minds together. I think it's something that we kind of wanted to see from the first season, is seeing his different um Hermadinger, exactly. Seeing exactly what type of um like things could happen. I like the way that we even hear Professor H say it, right? Jace, this is my new apprentice. Echo, Echo, this is my former apprentice, Jace. Like, it's like, okay, now we're really about to start cooking, and cooking they did. I love the metaphors that Jace even uses to explain how wild ruins and hex ruins and all these different types of magic systems work within this one magic system that is a sure line through from top to bottom. And I think it's even really dope the way that they take that from top to bottom reference and utilize it in the magic system to where the magic is literally coming from the bottom and pushed out towards the top. It's like, damn, they really did a really good job of establishing that. I don't know if that lore is already pre-established within the League of Legends stuff, because I'm not very, like I said at the top of it, I'm not well versed in League of Legends lore, but I think the world building and the magic building that is being done in this series, it does the due diligence to let everyone know that's even new to this. I know there was someone in the chat that was saying they just found this show like 2 days ago, and it's like, I feel like we can all kind of understand what was going on. Of course, having like a couple watch throughs isn't going to hurt anybody to reestablish more lore, but they just did a proper job of explaining the way the hex magic works, and I'm following along, and I'm loving every single thing that they're putting down. And it seemed I was a little like, yo, is there about to be like a new entity that enters the fray, like that was trapped behind that wall, and then for it to be the wind that just gusts through. Like, oh my goodness, the way that this was just constructed, it's just magnificent. I can't even explain it enough at how well this show is written and put together, and the cinematography that they chose to go with for this act was also beautiful. The way that the music and visuals can just kind of carry the story for a little while in a cinematic way, and then it's also able to ramp up to where you get to see this beautiful play-by-play action. Like, the fight scenes were on another freaking level. Like, they were on another level through this, and I literally could not believe how dope the fight scenes were looking. Like, for every single one that we saw. And those moments where they go Zack Snyder slow mo and like give you that moment to really just take a breath, and then boom, you're right back into the action. It's just constructed and crafted in a masterful way that just makes me so excited for the future of what these next batches of episodes can happen, which we'll be releasing next Friday. And of course, we're going to be doing watch parties for every single that they drop. It's just a must because this show is fantastic, and I had a lovely freaking time checking this out with all of you amazing people in the chat as well. So please let me know all of your thoughts, theories, and questions in the comment section down below, so we can definitely jump into that and see how everybody is feeling. I mean, I said it at the top of the watch party as well, that they have done a really good job of establishing themselves as, I don't want to say like Game of Thrones, but they have that level of storytelling, they have that level of depth to where there are houses, there is betrayal, there are things going on. And I feel like just me as an example, I'm not able to know every single character's name off the rip, but I am following the political threads that are happening. I'm like, yo, I'm loving this. I kind of wish they zeroed in on the house thing a little bit to make it a little bit more like understandable, but again, it's not about that. So I know why it's not about the houses at the same time. So they give you the names of the houses, they let you know that the houses are important, but it's not the main focus of the entire storyline. So I understand why we haven't had it be a primary, like, hey, house. You know what I mean? Even though it has been a little bit, but it just hasn't been in that way. But I appreciate that. I love the way that we're able to explore the underground and come back to the top and top ground or whatever, and see the differences that are really just happening between the two. Like there are stark differences occurring between the toppers and the undergrounds, right? Like it's wild. It's wild how different things were. And I also love the introduction of the little girl of the little girl that's rocking with Jinx. Little Jinx is what we will call her. I love Little Jinx. I like the way that she saved Jinx. I like the way that Jinx saved her. And I also really enjoyed the way she just kind of was tagging along and following her and just kind of helping her out here and there. And then at the end, she ends up saving her yet again. And the way that she just shoves the gun in Vi's face and is like, "Bruh, I will shoot you. You need to back up." And then that whole moment, there was just so many powerful moments in. I could not believe it. I almost can't handle how powerful and how heavy these episodes were because I don't think I was prepared for that. Even though I think this show did a very good job of preparing us for that in the first season. But it's just like, damn, I didn't know we were going to be thrown right back into gut wrenching, gut punching, just emotion inducing whiplash. And it's like, no, yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. And I'm actually even more thankful for that fact because damn, it's just so good, chat. It's just so good. I can't believe how good this show is. Like, my mind is almost, not even almost, I'm pretty sure my mind is blown. My mind is blown off of how they were able to kind of even make this season a little bit better because, like, I know that that first season did not hit with the blending of music and visuals as hard as this one did. Like I know it was there, but I mean the moments and the way that they were able to um like compare and contrast the similarities and differences between Jinx and Kate in the first episode versus the second episode. Where in the first episode we see Kate and she's like in this void realm, and then the petals are dropping around her, and then she sees Jinx in the distance, and then she like aims for her to shoot at her, and then Jinx's moment is very similar to that as well, to where she goes into this void and then she's drowning in a void though instead of standing on top of it. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, buddy! Like they are cooking with the uh symmetry, no symbolism. Yes, they are cooking with the symbolism in this show. It's really at like an all-time high at all times. Like it's never there is not a dull moment, to be completely honest, in the season so far. Like we hit the ground running and we have been continuing that running every step of the way. And again, the choice of just how beautiful that cinematography is, man. I feel like they again, I said this in the first and in the first half, but I just really feel like that first season secured the bag as far as they can really be as creative as they want to. And I'm happy that they are doing new creative things with the show in the form of, the animation does look better than the first season did. And they have these little moments, right? They have these slight moments where you can just like the coloring is like everything is on a 10. They are flexing their creative muscles in a very beautiful and artistic way throughout this season so far. I enjoyed every single episode of the first act. The first act was beautiful. I just can't praise it enough. I need I need to see more. And I'm so happy that we get to come back next week as well. I'm happy that Netflix doesn't put this entire thing out as a binge method. I think that would almost ruin some of the anticipation and some of these beats that we get to like take a breath on in order to come back together and really express how we're feeling. Um, and the way that I'm feeling right now is like, damn, we have cooked. And I think they introduced a lot more League of Legends characters within these episodes as well. But unfortunately, since I'm not very, I don't, I'm not lore junkie when it comes to LOL. to lol. I'm not a lol. No, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna make that joke. But I do think that um I think that it did. I could tell there was moments where it introduced a character, and we were supposed to know. You know what I mean? Oh, and of course Victor being Shimmer Jesus. I think I saw someone in chat call him that, and it's like what a blind side because I felt like Victor was going to be the bad guy, and I feel like they kind of they wanted us to think that, and then they just kind of went the exact opposite way and just made it just like they did that. The show is cooking, chat. Like we're cooking. We are 3 episodes in, first act in, and damn. Also, beautiful way that they're able to really not show any gore or blood like in that way, but it still be gritty as hell. Like you still know people are getting murdered. You still know people are getting stabbed in the face. Like you still know all of these things are happening. It just happens in a very creative and artistic way to where they can kind of speed past it, right? We see in this one moment of Mbessa kind of stabbing that one person like in the gut and just tanking them just into the wall. And then they just and as soon as they rip it out, we just see the woman just bang, just smack her head on the table. And I was like, oh, because they do like the due diligence to let you know that this is serious. This is serious. Death is happening. It's gritty, it's dramatic, and it's every ounce of exactly what I needed from this show. Okay. Like every ounce of it, man. Let me know if you guys liked Act One of Season 2 in the comment section down below. Drop a 1 in the chat if you liked it. Drop a 2 in the chat if you didn't, and drop a 3 if you're not really sure how to feel just yet. Because I want to know what we do. I want to know what we doing. Okay, all right, okay.